In dubs, we've seen Sarme have incredible runs of late, but hasn't been able to get that top position yet. And we're going to be seeing things start off here on Game number 1 with Mammoths.
And there we go. Looks like we're going to have the dog out. All right, we got Mordex once again, Big Baddie Wolf Dad coming out to see what we got to see. Hold on. Something to the other side. It's not going to quite be a conversion to an early KO. But despite the fact that Sarme doesn't have the placements quite to the aptitude that simpLe has, he does have heart, and we're gonna see if he can play his heart out to get that W right now. So far, keeping up with one of the best in the game, man. It's hard for a lot of people to say that.
Yeah, 100%. And the Mordex also, you know, talking a lot about the Koji, but the Mordex is also a primary pick for Sarme as well. So this is definitely going to be a really good option here to try and just, once again, controlling the pace of the game against Bodvar. It's so important because Bodvar just needs a couple quick conversions. You need to be able to push, as we see a big Nair attempt just to try and keep that edge guard extended. Doesn't get much, but this is very even so far to start things off, like you said.
Okay, I like the punish coming out here. Ooh, and he gets, wow, I love that conversion. Ooh. That's the way to punish a dodge. He didn't get the weapon throw there, but it did force out that dodge from simpLe, and now he's stuck in the corner. It's going to be D-Light recovery. Not enough to KO here. Sarme still has a chance. Doesn't have a weapon, but I think a D-Light recovery unarmed will be enough. We need to see him go for the unarmed neutral sig. That's not going to hit, though, and simpLe, you know, and simpLe's way of doing things, just runs up, hits him with a breakdance, and said, let's get rid of that first stock.
Yeah, and now simpLe with the stock up and weapon advantage, but the thing is, Sarme has kept it even so far, especially this deep. You cannot let simpLe get a lot of extra credit, and closes it out right off the bat and gets it right back to even.
I love the placement of that gauntlet ground pound as well. Went for the instant dash jump, turn around, and clip it right over the lip, the corner of the stage there, to go ahead and secure that first KO. So now we have ourselves a battle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. We're seeing a lot of good calls here from Sarme, just getting that damage on. We haven't seen many grounded calls. Like, we haven't seen any D-lights. We haven't seen any side lights just try and get those combos. It's mostly because simpLe just keeps jumping around them. So that is a really good way to keep simpLe grounded. As we see simpLe currently trying to have a meeting with the ground. We saw the attempt right there from the GC D-light. Did not get it, but still keeping his damage going.
Yeah, I gotta say, despite the fact that Sarme wasn't able to convert into the full KO there, he was able to make sure he got something for every interaction, right? Despite the fact it wasn't, all right, you're not completely knocked out. I'm gonna get at least 2 to 3 hits for a conversion. And now he's fishing for that final blow. We found themselves in a similar position last time as well. simpLe got the stock the first time last time, and you might be able to do it again. Can Sarme get the stock first is a question that I have rotating in my head right now.
Yeah, you see Sarme just trying to look for a jump or look for that side light into recovery, but does get caught by simpLe. As soon as the hammer was on, it's like, okay, it's time to play. Gets the lead again, but still very even. What is it so far that simpLe is just doing to keep Sarme out whenever they're at kill percents?
It's just kind of like Sarme's using 2 weapons. We're finding, oh wow, that's going to be a beautiful ground pound to go ahead and bring things back. But Sarme's using 2 weapons that kind of have like an awkward time KOing, right? If you're going for gauntlets, you need to get basically a recovery or a signature. If you're using Scythe, once again, you're looking for either a signature or potentially like a recovery off stage or something of that nature to get them off the side. But otherwise, it can take you a while to find that blow. So simpLe's kind of staying inside the hitboxes and potentially just winning the game right here. That's it. Yeah, just get that gravity cancel, D-light or ground pound, and just closes out the game like that, right? He just kind of carried him to the side. It started with that first Scythe recovery, I think, and then he was able to get a reversal around Sarme to go ahead and convert things.
Yeah, excellent conversions coming in. I think the biggest thing is that you talk about how it's a little bit harder to get those KOs with the weapons on Mordex by comparison to Bodvar. simpLe exploited that very well. Kind of played around that KO range. Like, look, I know you're going to fish for the sidelight gauntlet here. I know you're going to fish for a big attempt at trying to maybe catch a Nair with the sight to get me deep off stage, and just kept almost baiting Sarme to go for it to then get the whiff punish. So even though they were both able to get deep into the red, simpLe always saw through when the KO was coming.
And that's the thing too. That's why a lot of people pick Mordex, because out of the Scythe legends and the Gauntlet legends, Mordex has arguably the best kit in terms of like, I got SIGs that are really fast, they cover a lot of area, and they're hard to punish, right? And speaking of making things really difficult here, that's a punish. Caught him. Oh, is it gonna trade?
Wait,
nice! I love
still walked away with that. That was almost that almost cost Sarme. But even if it was a trade at that point, you went so deep. It's like, okay, worth. We end up with the trade, but Sarme gets a very well executed edge guard there and keeping his damage going already, Flambeau.
Yeah, no, Sarme played that perfect, right? Because simpLe, I'd argue, also played it extremely well, tried to make it, all right, I don't want to lose my stock. Can I try to trade at least? And then Sarme was like, well, if I get this nair, I can get my chase dodge to go straight up, and then I can still recover. And that's he was able to make this slight lead he has for himself here. Wow, he got a touch just on the corner. simpLe needs a D-Light Sayer or recovery, but Sarme's not getting it to him. A dunk trying to take out the trash. Almost gets the ground pound, but the reversal Sayer closes out the dreams.
I heavily respect the attempt. Almost caught the ground pound. That would have put you out 3 stocks to 1, and you're so deep in the red, it's worth. It's like, fine, you get back on. Still have you like relatively in orange, but I mean, simpLe has also gotten the damage right back on. simpLe is refusing to let these leads last for long on favor of Sarme, but Sarme is pushing him deep off stage, just avoids the downer. Oh, did he get the wall touch though? That's huge. We take those.
The head bump, man, it gets every Brawlhalla player, you know. It's like you think you got the drift just perfect to get the wall touch, and then you end up under the stage, and then your dreams are shattered. But we've seen simpLe, you know, he definitely has the resolve to go ahead and bring this one back, but I feel like Sarme is playing extraordinarily well, you know? We saw the same thing before in the previous set. Like, there are these players that, you know, you look at the numbers and you're like, this guy got no shot, and then you're watching the set and you're like, hold on. Yes, he does, right? Like, it's not that close anymore. The window and the space between the skill of players has gotten so much smaller over time.
Exactly, because even when you're looking at this match right here, like, you still need to keep your composure against simpLe as he evens it right back up there with the stomp Sayer. But Sarme's looked a lot better in this game too. So I think even for simpLe, it's like, even though I may have a bit of fear in you, I am up 3-0, I think Sarme is playing looking at his opponent and not having that initial fear of, oh, you may be the better player, but I am playing extremely well right now.
So far, I mean, it looks like simpLe just kind of racking that damage back up so quickly. Sarme tries to go for a reverse there right here. You can see opting to go for the active input to send simpLe backwards off of those D-lights to potentially go for a read, but just hasn't been able to get the follow-up. simpLe's holding the corner so well. This is what simpLe does best, man.
Yeah.
He will just kind of sit there, and he will look at your option and then just push you back to the corner, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, holding ledge is just such a scary sight, especially when you have sword and hammer in hand, but like, this is extremely close. This is only game number 2. We were talking about high-quality matches that were going to be upcoming. This is extremely close between the two, and if you're Sarme, you cannot afford to give up this game too. You do not want to go down 2 games.
Spot. That's simpLe spot. He's just looking at him, dude. The weapon throw to go ahead and break things up. Oh, doesn't get the recovery though. He needs 1 recovery and he manages to find it. Sarme manages to snag game 2. simpLe probably wasn't expecting to see that today.
Yeah, that kind of, I think that caught simpLe off guard because simpLe was playing that mid-range so well. We were talking about the control of the ledge, but also center stage control has been very well executed by simpLe. Repeatedly, we're talking about his ability to, especially at KO percents on the when they're going for the last stocks. simpLe almost always baits Sarme at the right time. Sarme saw through something there, mixed it up properly. We get a game number 3, but at 1 apiece.
Oh man, we're back to Mammoth. And I was saying, man, we're going to see a lot of Mammoth for this set. It's just simpLe. This is simpLe's home. You know, this is home base. This is where he squads up at the end of the day. This is where he puts his pillow down and brings his blanket. Like, you don't like leaving here very often. So we're going to see.
Does he have a hammer body pillow? Is that you're trying to say?
Hey, yo, the end of the hammer is quite nice for that, you know? It's hard, but it's good for his back. Oh, going around the globe. We've seen him do that quite a few times. Come on now.
I know, Sarme just, Sarme struggling a little bit by comparison, trying to get in, but does get a reversal, at least get you stage, trying to control ledge. Weapon tossing the wrong way, but so far, the simpLe has just been so good on defense.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Dude was able to go all the way around the stage, make it back to center, grab a hammer, and just control the stage immediately from that point. Has a Sayer, it doesn't KO. If he gets another one, though, it definitely will. Maybe even an N-Light in the corner might be enough. And he's looking at him. A recovery will do it. He's just trying to find... He waits for the right time to strike. That is the way simpLe plays. So a lot of this is being broken up by the weapon throws from Sarme, because that little jitter to the flow of simpLe, it's been the difference, honestly, for him to find these openings.
I agree, because it's simpLe.
There it is again.
Yeah, simpLe does not just pull the trigger right off the bat. He waits for when the resources are gone, and Sarme's defense on ledge, we talk about simpLe's defense, but you're right, those weapon tosses to stop being pressured at ledge, allow them to get back in. This stock is definitely on borrowed time here because Hammer is staring you down, but great job at least getting the first stock.
There we go. Double weapon throw, the recovery is going to punish from the other side there, and simpLe is able to find the KO. But even if you analyze the amount of attacks that simpLe threw out in the last 45 seconds there, I think it may have been like 3, maybe 4. He does not throw them out super often. He wants to make sure if he's doing it, the probability of it connecting is at least 80%.
Yeah, maximize your reward on hit. You don't want to be just... The more that you swing recklessly, the easier it is for someone to get whiff punishes. And you do not want to do that against someone like Mordex, because Mordex is going to make you pay.
And like even when simpLe whiffs, right? Like how often is he getting punished for it? That's the way I like about how simpLe approaches the game. But on the other hand here, I like the way Sarme is dealing with it. He's like, all right, well, like he's not throwing out of a lot of attacks, which means I don't have a lot of options to punish. But when I do find them, I capitalize. And he goes for the last down air. Doesn't matter. Turn around, grab to cancel, D-like ground pound. I'll take.
Amazing reversal right there. Decided to go for the initial ground pound. simpLe saw through it, and instead of going back up, decided to go for a ground pound of his own. But Sarme saw it. It's like, you know what? If I guess this correctly, you go down. That is all incredible from Sarme, because Sarme in the first game, we were a little worried about how he wasn't able to close out the stocks, but it's looking significantly better here.
No way, he got him! He got him!
Completely closes it out. No issues closing out stocks, and no issue taking the lead, because Sarme is now up 2-1 on simpLe.
That doesn't happen very often in simpLe. simpLe's not used to that. simpLe's not used to that at all, man. That's great play from Sarme here. And I feel like especially in those last 2 stocks that we saw simpLe lose, simpLe played a little bit out of his comfort zone, right? Like you don't expect simpLe to go for a play like that based off of the way he's been playing the entire set. So normally that works on people. He's like, whoa, simpLe like just went for a ground pound on me. Normally he would just sit on stage and wait for me. But Sarme just had that little bit of intuition that said, you know what? I can kind of feel the pressure. I'm getting to him.
You know, I don't want to read too far into it, but I feel like when it comes to someone who's been the king of consistency for a very long time, after having a relatively poor performance,
Oh, yeah, and he gets the chase down back!
Okay.
That's a king! That's a king!
now I'm definitely going to say it. simpLe is playing very nervous. And we saw the
He's sweating, dude.
we saw the early play from E4, but after that, you know, the recent performance of Winters now playing as well, and now here potentially facing an upset where Sarme is playing really well, this will make you break that really good defense you had before. simpLe has to get a big play and consistently get big plays to get themselves to a Game 5.
Okay, so far, I mean, despite the fact that simpLe's behind, he's controlling the stage pretty well right now. One stomp. Oh, he does the stomp in the wrong direction. You can see he's stomping the yard right now, right? He's like, please give it to me. Please give it to me. I need to get this KO. And it's costing him big money. You can feel Sarme sharking here. Going for the final blow. Gets the ground pound. He did get the touch, though. Their weapon throw. Is that going to be enough? Doesn't quite find it. Still keeping him off the side. Double down there. DI is not going to save you there. And simpLe is potentially on his last legs here in the winner's side of bracket against someone he has a 3-0 record against.
Chat, repeat after me. Repeat this sentence, because this doesn't sound correct. We are looking at Sarme up 3 stocks to 1 and potentially beating simpLe 3-1 here in winner's side. simpLe does finally find a recovery off the top to get a KO. simpLe is still extremely talented and can make a comeback, but it is not looking too good right now, Flambo.
Yeah, I'm saying, I mean, don't let your dreams be dreams, kids. Like, simpLe, you could bring this back. But every single blow you take from this point forward is that much closer to putting the nail in your own coffin. How are you going to go out? Are you going to come out a champion, or are you going to come out, you know, 6 feet under? We got to find out. Dang, he really, that hit, he had line of sight for that side stick to actually connect there, even though he was solo under the stage. It's not looking good for simpLe. Sarme doing it again.
Sarme is, we were talking, like, Sarme is playing just out of range, consistently with punishing anytime simpLe commits to anything. simpLe finally finds a Sair. There's another one. Push some deep off stage. simpLe has controlled ledge so well. Does get the Sair. Gets it back to 1 stock. So all of a sudden, simpLe has woken up. There is some decent damage on simpLe. But Sarme, don't let it be you, man. We haven't hit that version 1 yet. Don't let it be you.
Hold the phone. Because we know this is Captain Consistency right now. Look at the way he's holding the corner. He knows how to hold that corner. He's like one of the boys from The Wire right now, right? He's sitting there and saying, yo, don't step. Don't step. And Sarme, he's trying to step, but if you're going to do it, you got to make sure you take over. Like, hold on now, bro. You don't want this comeback to happen to you. You need, like, a D-light recovery. I don't think it'll be enough. It should be enough now. Has the scythe in hand. Oh, what are you going to do here, simpLe?
Okay, Sarme just misses out, but simpLe gets him neutralized, puts him off to the stage, keeping that pressure on. Sarme, you can't get too reckless here, because that's going to allow you to get out of it, but simpLe capitalizes with another neutral light. This is so crazy, Flambo. This is so close.
And you can see he was too scared to commit on the ground pound. He was like, am I going to go off stage with it? I don't want to do it. But simpLe's bringing it back. Is he going to be able to do it? He's like, maybe a D-Light recovery. Oh, he dodges up and gets caught by the recovery. Sarme is able to take out one of the EU Titans. simpLe 3-1 in a very, very, very convincing game 3. It could have been more convincing. It got close at the end. But it was a convincing game.
Well then, is all I could say. Like, what an incredible job from Sarme. We were talking before about Sarme's recent performance is looking pretty good, but you haven't seen that, like, the big convincing W that you could get against one of the top players to move forward. Down 3-0 historically against simpLe. That has changed today, going 3-1 now, and that one mattering very much as we see